And as soon as it finishes processing, and let's hop into it. So, a couple of quick, easy slides, like nothing crazy, nothing super major. It's truly easier than it looks or seems, but I want to make sure that I explain it in detail. So, with that being said, can everybody see my screen? Okay, cool. Week 2, the consulting model. So I need to let you guys know that the consulting model, that's the long money game. So that's not the quick make $85 kind of deal, see how many I can make in a day, in a week kind of thing. That's not how that model works. And I say that because I tried that at first and was like, all right, I'm going to run an ad and I'm going to see how many I can sell. And I was doing 2 or 3 a day, which is great. But then you got to think about all the back end and all the management of that. So I worked with my team, and this was kind of before I got a team, and they kind of came in the middle of me developing the consulting model, and they may or may not have known that I had been doing it, but I streamlined it with them. So with that being said, I kind of want to show you guys the steps. I'm going to show you the model, and then we're going to hop into, well, I'm going to turn it over to my team because they're going to give you some good stuff today too. So just know that this model is not for everybody, but it is the long money model. Like, this is the model where you'll look up and you'll have made 5 to 10 grand in a month, real easy. All right. So I'm sure those numbers opens people's eyes, and I'm going to show you how it works. For this model, you got to do some work on the back end though. Like, you can't just put a post out and say, take my animal assessment. It doesn't work that way. This model, you need to have a very solid, I will say a very solid 5 things. Number 1, you need to have a strong brand and messaging. And that brand can't be, I'm certified as a 4 animals consultant. Like, that's not strong enough. All right. You guys need to know that. And I'm very honest and upfront about that. Like, you need to know, like, that's cool in BU, but that's 1,500, 2,000 people. And I'm going to say this now, like, don't try to, I said it last week, don't try to sell it to nobody in BU. Like, just don't. That's just not the move. All right. If they come to you and they want to purchase, that's one thing. But please don't try to go in there and sell it simply because you already know. They're going to say, wait, doesn't Chris do that? And I don't want to steal anybody's shine. I just need you to just play along with me. So first, you need a strong brand and a strong message that's not the 4 animals. The 4 animals is always the back end in the consulting model. Okay. I'm going to give you an example in a second. The second thing you need is client results to show. Like, and I know you might not have worked with any yet, but that's okay. You can get some. Don't worry about that. As a matter of fact, you can use mine. All right. It's just the assessment. Okay. So you can use these same client results. You know what they do. You know what they did for you. All right. So you need client results to show. The third thing, you need social proof. We're going to need some testimonies. Like, we need people to say, oh yeah, I did it and it's great. Or I did the assessment and man, my team got on a whole new level. Like, you need people to see that, all right? They don't necessarily need to see who said it, but I'm going to give y'all a resource for that. If you are in BU, kudos to you. You literally can go search that thread, and it's probably at least 20 people that commented on it in that thread. I posted something that said, hey, chime in, just search for my post in BU if you're in BU. And it said something like, hey, give me your feedback on the animal assessment or something like that. And literally 20, 25 people. All right. So, and I was very strategic. I knew I would use that at some point. I didn't know quite how at the time, but I was very strategic when I posted that. If you go in there and look, fine. If you're not BU, it's cool. Maybe we'll get that post and copy it in the private group just so you can see the live results. Okay. The social proof. All right. Number 4, you need a fee structure. I'm going to get that to you in about 2 slides, all right? And number 5, you need exclusivity, right? Now, let me explain what I mean when I say exclusivity. Sorry, I need to get some water. I didn't bring any with me. So this assessment, it can be for everybody, but it's not for everybody. So when I say that, I don't market this to the grandiose scheme of people. Even when I created an IG ad, I made sure I selected people in my lane. So number one, I go back to last week, you gotta know who you serve. If you serve just those people in your lane, so Val with educators and academia, like if you just brought it to them, oh man, you make a killer. And here's the funny thing. They'll put it out to their friends and colleagues. You don't have to do any of that. I promise you. All right. But again, this is the long money game. All right. It takes you a while to build this. But if you want to build this, I promise you. And when I say a little while, what, Shayna, less than 6 months? We ain't talking about super long. We talking like less than 6 months. You literally can be generating what? 2 to 5 to maybe even 10 if you do it right in less than 6 months. Like, it does not take long. Okay. So let me give you an example. I thought I'd just literally copy and paste something somebody just sent me this morning. I wish you could see my phone. He literally just sent it to me and said, hey, I just told my director about your assessment. She was just talking about how we need to do a staff retreat. I said, I have the perfect guy for internal communications. She's waiting to talk to me, right? He already talked the assessment up. This is a nonprofit over in Alexandria, right across the bridge from me. I've never met anybody over there, but the assessment has preceded itself. I promise you, if you do this right and do a good job of this, like, it'll sell itself for you, okay? So a strong brand and the messaging around that brand, the messaging that's not the 4 animals. I'm going to give you an example of that in a second. Client results to show, social proof, a fee structure, and exclusivity, all right? So when I say exclusivity, my exclusivity looks like, all right, well, I only do this with teams that are really ready to take their communications up to a new level, right? So now that blocks out everybody that ain't looking for nothing around communication. Great for me, because that's a great lane to be in, all right? When I say a strong brand and strong messaging, that's what I'm talking about, all right? So here's the model. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a visual. The first thing is you got to position yourself as a niche expert in that lane, right? So again, communications, team building, project management, those are usually the things that I hang my hat on, right? Those are typically the things I hang my hat on. Nothing really outside of that. I used to be all over the place. Leadership, customer service, all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, like, that's just way too broad. But usually somebody say something about communications with my team or with my team members, like, nail on the head for me. All right. So I want you to be thinking about that. You guys are going to begin with your coaches. I want you to think about this before you get to them, because they're going to ask you the same stuff. Like, all right, who are you customizing this for? And what is your niche? And what's your area of focus? So again, mine is communication, team building, project management. That's usually where I swim, right? I never lead off with, oh man, I'm a 4 animals consultant, because nobody knows what that means. But if you can say something like, yeah, I got a little tool that helps teams get on the same sheet of music with their communication, oh, we out of here then. So the platinum standard is position yourself as a niche expert first. You can do that through a video. You can do that on podcasts. You can do a social media series, like a series of videos on a landing page or a series of videos on YouTube, and just talk about how you have a tool that helps people boom, boom, boom. And this type of person is this, and this type of person is that. If you need help with that, literally, 4animalsassessment.com. You can see me. I just did it on that website. All right. The second thing you do when you get the opportunity to talk or get in front of this group or person or whatever, you need a high value digital product that conveys worth. All right. Now you see, I got a screenshot of this video over here with me and E. It was very strategic when I did the video. All right. I knew that I needed something of high value that would watch for a couple of minutes to make them say, wait, who is that dude he talking to? And what is this assessment? You guys need the same thing. You can do it in a video. You can do it on a one sheet if you get a testimonial from the right people. All right. You can do it in a live interview. You can do it in an audio interview. You can do it on a voice note on your phone and get somebody just to rave about they took the assessment with you and what it did for them. Right. It doesn't have to be Eric Thomas. It can be anybody in your niche, though. Right? It can be anybody in your niche. So I see Preach on, like, it'd be cool if Preach got with Ontario Green, let's just say, that's in your lane, and say, look, took this assessment, me and my wife, like, Paul came and did it, like, it just blew us away. Like, that's your lane. So being able to kind of go, Shayna just did it. She was telling me she sold it with a couple, and the wife was like, oh, man, like, this is crazy. I got to get my husband to take it. Like, all you need is some social proof from your lane. High value, whether you record it on video, audio, or you just get them to type it to you in a testimonial, all of it works. All right. People just need to be bobbing their heads like, yeah, this is for me. That's all you needed to get them to do. All right. At this point, I never give price. All right. I build the anticipation, never give price. We only talk value. All right. Third thing. We need stated results. Again, you need those testimonials. You can find mine on Facebook. If you're in BU, you can find them in there. All right. If you ain't in there, it's cool, but you just need some stated results. All right. Amongst all of us and everybody who's taking it, you can probably listen on the calls and on listen to Eric Thomas. You can listen to what he says about it. All right. That's probably enough social proof for you. All right. If you need more, oh, I got plenty. Don't worry. Like I said, that post in BU, that's probably more than enough. If you personally know somebody who's taking it, oh, you know what it's done for them. Get a testimonial from them. You don't need a testimonial from you. You need a testimonial from the tool. Okay? You're going to be licensed to administer the tool. You'll get your own. Don't worry about that. All right? The fourth thing you need to do, package yourself with the assessments. All right. The consultant in the consulting model, they buy you. All right. They don't buy the assessment. They buy you. All right. So let me give you an example. You see how when you go on and buy it on the site and you automatically get the on-demand video with it, they're buying me. I can go and I see what they say. Oh, can somebody, some dude, I saw he posted another DISC assessment. It's like, can somebody interpret this for me? I'm like, no, we can't. That ain't the right assessment. I got about 10 of those assessments at home. They're the $7 ones that you can buy and fill out on your own, and you still got to figure out what animal you are. Like, I got a ton of them. I threw them in the trash because they're no good. They only give you the descriptors. They don't give you any detail. So that's why I wouldn't do it for them. But make sure you package yourself. You want them to buy you as the expert, okay? And then the last one, and this is really the magic. You know, my team will tell you this. This is really the magic. Becoming the expert question asker when you do the consultation. Like, when you can lead people instead of tell them, when you can ask the right questions and get them to do the ahs and them to do the OMGs and them to cry and them to, you know, like, it's amazing. Like, the emotional trigger, when you can get the emotional trigger, like, we go, okay? So let me review real quick. Position yourself as a niche expert first, all right? That could be podcast, that could be a talk, recorded talk, a video, a social media post, a series of those. That is the platinum standard. You must do that first. So I got to pick on Shatora out there. Shatora's my people. I love Shatora. I like what Shatora's doing, but Shatora just did a no-no. I saw her post something, and she's like, hey, here's my picture. Here are the things you can get. Take the assessment. I'm like, oh, I wish you would have sent that to the team before you put it out, all right? Because that doesn't work. You might get one or two, but the vast majority, because, and I ain't saying this because I'm trying to promote anything or knock anybody down. I'm saying this because I've made a pretty big splash with people knowing the 4 animals is me. What I'm trying to do is get you guys to position yourselves so they know that you have something, and on the back door is this tool that you use to help them, right? Any other thing else, I remember when Kendall did it the first time. Somebody messaged me, he's like, hey, aren't you the 4 animals dude? Because I saw Kendall post something on. I'm like, yeah, he's certified to do it. I want to keep y'all from that. All right. I want to make sure you position yourself as an expert in your thing, whether that's communication, team building, spiritual development, whatever your thing is, branding. All right. Whatever your thing is. I want that first. Then the assessment follows, okay? Second thing, monetize free. Give them a digital product, high value, conveys worth. Third thing, we need some stated results. Fourth thing, package yourself with the assessment. Fifth thing, become an expert question asker and then provide a solution to them. Lead it. Don't tell them, lead them, okay? So now let's get into the model. The model is real simple, all right? The model is very, very simple. So in the model, here's what we want to do. We want to be able to give people this, convert them really quick, make them invest up front, and then consult with them on the back end, all right? And I do this in a couple different ways. All right, so first, expert positioning. Video, podcast, live talk, webinar, whatever it is. Then you send them somewhere as a result of that. All right. Second step is that expertise. That's where you send them. So expertise plus branding plus results plus social proof. All right. We put all of that in one area. Again, it can be on a website, a landing page, a page on your site, a one-pager, however you want to do it. We just need to capture all that in one place. All right. Yep, we'll put the recording up and the slides will be available. Okay. Once you do that, all right, we never sell anything. We just help them buy. We make our offer compelling enough that they gotta have it. Right? Again, foranimalsassessment.com. Use that as a model, as a template, okay? Shane is going to talk a little deeper about that as we get further into this, okay? So here's my model. You know it, $85 for the individual assessment. I do $497 for a team of 5. I do $997 for a team of 10. And this is the first resort in this model because it's all virtual. I never leave. The max I'll go is where I'm at now in my office. That's it. Most of the time I'm in the home office. Okay? Now, I don't know about you. Let me move this a little bit. Sorry, I'm gonna move this over. I don't know about you guys, but like for me, let me move this over. For me, it's a really good way to do 1 to 2 of these a week and walk away with a little bit of pocket change, right? Now, we've automated the individual, the one-off, right? And I literally just automated it on the site. And I don't do much with that. Like I said, they get the on-demand. But when people, a team of 5 reaches out, okay, we know we'll do that for $500, and that includes a team map and a live consultation. Because here's the deal. If you recorded yourself going through it and your clients automatically got you on a recording for 1, that's fine. But with 5 people, all of them going to get that one, and it's cool, but you still don't have anything to bring them together. So that's why I include a group consult, okay? On the team of 5, team of 10, it's all virtual. I do a group. I'm going to post a couple in the portal also. Now, when we get more than 10 people and they want virtual, I go anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. I just had one inbox me yesterday. They got 16 people at their nonprofit. And he asked me, would I be open to do some virtual training? I think I charged them like $3,000 or something for 16 people. And that's 16. I think I gave them 20 assessments. And I'm very strategic about that. I gave them 20 and I told them, hey, invite 4 other directors. And it's all virtual. And we're going to get on for an hour and I'm going to go through a couple of assessments and I'm going to do a team map and then we're going to be off. And I always end with, okay, who do you know that needs this? And then, of course, I always include a 45-day follow-up, give or take. Sometimes I'll do 30 to 45 days on the follow-up, and it's free. It's all-inclusive. And it literally is a Zoom session with the people who they feel need to be on there so I can track what they've done over the last 30 days. How has the assessment impacted them? what's working, what's not working, what triggers have they noticed, what things can they start doing differently to see better communication. Remember, I go back to communication. That's my lane, right? And then magically, it multiplies, guys. Like when I say magically it multiplies, like that's when they usually ask the question. If I've served it right, they'll ask this question. So do you do this monthly? Like, is there any way we can set up like a monthly training or something where you come back to us in a couple months and that's where we can talk about the retainer? All right. That's when we can talk about the retainer model. Now, I think, and Shayna, I think that's what I was talking about in the bonus video. Yeah. I think that I want to do a bonus video only on the retainer model because there's too much to cover in this session. But like literally, that's when you can see, and you need to be a little seasoned for that. But that's when you can truly kind of see it work for you. So what's the retainer model? The retainer model is where you've serviced the client. They love what you've done. They've got nuggets from the virtual session. They know they need help. They have a budget and they're ready to work with you. And so that's where I go anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month. And I'll go on a 3 to 6 month retainer with a client. Right? And that literally looks like I'll invoice them on the first of the month. We'll do 1 to 2 virtual sessions a month for an hour each. And then I'll map out what they want covered. Now, I covered this on the, if you guys were on the call Monday, I covered this, but I use this the same way that I talked about on the call. My 4-step formula. When we get to retainers, I got 4 questions. KRFD. What do you want your people to know? What do you want them to remember? What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to do as a result of this training? And literally, they'll tell me everything they want covered. And I'll create a session out of it for an hour. And it's pretty much just like this. I'll go 30 minutes with content. We'll do 30 minutes of AHA, Q&A, and next steps. And we do that every month on a set date. I've got 1, 2 clients on right now, retainer, with this model. So the consulting model is the long money model. Okay, it's not that short. You do have to have those 5 things I told you in place, the brand and the messaging. Like you got to have all that in place because it's got to be very clear to them why they need you. Okay, so as I round out my segment, here are a couple of next steps. 1, know your brand. Are you the communications expert? Conflict resolution or team building or branding or spiritual development or IT or whatever. Like know your brand and what it stands for. Number 2, do not post and go. I'm sorry, Shator, I had to put you on blast, but I saw it. I was like, oh, right. And I was like, okay, we're going to fix it. We're going to help her out. We're going to fix it. But I want you guys to moving forward, like just get in that lane. All right. When I did a post, when I did an ad for it, I did an ad on Instagram. And look, guys, when I say I ran an ad, I ain't talking about a lot of money. I'm talking maybe $50. And I ran it for probably a week or 2, probably 10 days. $50, 10 days, that's $5 a day. But I targeted, again, communications experts. So let me ask you guys, who do you think in organizations struggle with communication? Talk to me. Who is that a problem for in corporate?
Managers and employees.
Managers and employees, okay. Specifically, give me some positions.
Sales manager and salespeople.
Sales manager and salespeople.
Our sales manager account.
Absolutely. So you know who I targeted? I'm getting some feedback. You know who I targeted in that ad? I targeted HR professionals, managers, supervisors, and people who are into professional development. That's who I targeted. Those are the only 4 things I targeted, right? And every last one of them were like, whoa, wait. What's this assessment? And yes, we're struggling with this. And how much does it cost? And do you come in for this, for training? And like, that's how it goes. So you got to be super crystal clear on that. I know we're back to branding, but it's so important that you know who your niche is and how specific you need to be. Okay. All right. Don't post and go. If you're going to do an ad, make sure you're very, very targeted to who you're posting it to. Follow the model. I gave you guys the model. Follow it. I promise you. All right. Be willing to walk away if necessary. Like, I say that because there have been a couple of times where people want to negotiate on price. Be willing to walk away. It costs what it costs. We know the value of it. Like, be willing to walk away. The right people, that's a drop in the bucket for the right organizations or the right clients, I promise you. All right? And then create an ad on IG or Facebook and push people to your portal, whether it's a website or gain momentum in a live arena if you're doing a talk, and be willing to push people to get to you on the back end, okay? So now, that's the content I wanted to cover today. Let me stop. I see we got questions, and then my team truly has some good stuff for you. So before we go to the team, can we do some Q&A real quick?
I've been
all right.
All the questions that are.
Oh, you've been at? You know what? Look, let me tell you something. My people they are on point. I love it. All right, so team map, meaning what animal works better. So, okay, got it. No, so Royce, so yeah, the team map, Shana answered it, but the team map is a tool. Let me show you guys one where I can pull up. We can create a map on the back end, on our end, and send it to you if a client needs it. We'll get into that. Say again, Shana?
Maybe pull up ours as a team so then it makes sense to them. It's real life.
Okay. Got it. I'm going to pull up a team map and show you guys what one looks like. Most of you probably have never seen one, which is cool. Again, I only do it when groups do it because you need more than one person to pull up a team map. But let me pull one up. And who do I want to pull up? I'm going to try to pull the most recent one up. So I'm going to do Randall Cook. Now I'm going to do Project 30. Project 30 they got a lot of people. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show y'all what one super value add, guys. Like, this is usually what kind of takes people, or teams rather, takes teams over the top. Okay, so this is what a team map looks like. All right, so I got one map, and I got everybody in their group on this map. So we see the D, the gorilla over here, the I, flamingo over here, the S over here, the C over here, and it tells me by initial who in the company is where. Super value add. All decision makers want to see this because once they understand the animals, they want to see who's on their team. So we're able to pull up a team map for a small fee, But we pull that up. That's why I kind of go a little more in the group consultation. Usually the investment is a little bit more simply because like we got all that going on. So it's a whole different conversation when you got a group. But when you got a group, when you can facilitate it enough, which you will be by the end of this process, you can facilitate one, you can facilitate a group, okay? Shana, you said we got all, oh yeah, Roy said that's major value. Yep, absolutely, got it. We got all the questions answered, Shana?
Unless there's any live questions, and then somebody's on their cell phone, maybe try and mute that person because we're gonna.
Yeah, make sure if you can, please mute. If you're on that cell phone, I think that was Sean driving.
But I don't know if there's any live questions that people just have that they didn't put in.
Okay. Let's open it real quick.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
This Val. I've been seeing pictures of the book. Does that book go along with what you're teaching us, or is that for the client?
So the book, it was some imagery that I created when I started rebranding the 4 animals. It represents the report, the 22-page report. The book itself, as an aha, it doesn't go along with anything yet. However, it's coming. I'm gonna say fall, right, Shayna? Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say fall. The actual book is gonna come. You guys will get it as certified consultants to share. We're gonna do ebooks, but we may even do some hard copies. We'll see. But no, it comes as it's just a tool. It's a tool to be able to, put in the hands of the right person. But here's the deal: we can't put it in the hands before they've experienced because they won't know what it's talking about. So we've been trying to figure out the best way to do it. But no, Val, that's a good question. It's usually just for branding right now, and the actual book itself will be complete and ready this fall.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
I have one question.
Okay.
Can
That's Tiffany.
you share, hi everybody, can you share the template for the Facebook ad and Instagram ad that you created, the copy?
Yeah, that's a good question. We were talking about that yesterday.
I'm going to take over this part of the discussion because we're now going to start some of the branding stuff. So what's going to be happening and what we're working on for you guys is that all of this information is going to be trademarked, right? So right now it's kind of, you've seen different things from different people. That's not going to be happening moving forward. So everything that you will need, your one-pagers, your slide decks, your we're going to talk a little bit more about websites and stuff like that in the upcoming weeks, but all of that is going to be standard branding to maintain the brand moving forward. So if you guys need any of that stuff, understand that once you're certified, we'll be able to have a discussion about how you want to move forward with that. So you don't have to go out and get somebody to create a one-pager. You don't, we're taking care of all of that for you guys. Mm-hmm. There will be an additional fee for that, but you will have that package, so you don't have to worry about getting that done. So by the time that you guys are certified, we'll be good to go. I will have more detailed information about that, pricing, all of that in the upcoming weeks. So everything that you guys see as far as launch posts and all of that, we're taking care of. Don't worry about it. We got you. Hope that answers that.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Real quick, Shayna. So let me just say this to the group. So the invite is a recurring invite, guys. So some people maybe didn't get it. I don't know if you did or didn't. Make sure if you're not in the Facebook group, just make sure to let us know. We talked about a Monday night call, possibly. Look, you guys are busy, and we got the Monday night calls with game changers and the small group calls. I can't do another Monday night call. So what we decided, I'm going to put it in the group on the private Facebook group. And if you haven't been in there, please get in there, because we've been putting valuable stuff in there and just gap filler stuff in there. But let us know if you're not. Request access. We'll make sure you get in today. Okay? Got it.
And so what Chris is talking about with that night is that it would be there for extra reps. So Darius and I are also going to talk to you guys today about your teams and how we both facilitate it differently and what our expectations are going to be from you guys, what we're going to be looking for. Raymar, I got you. I'll make sure you're in the group. So it's
Rice
really
too.
about, pardon?
George Rice too.
Okay. So it's really about making sure that if you guys want the opportunity to get different reps in, because right now you're not facilitating it for anybody, right? So if you wanted the opportunity to just get some extra reps in, I talked to the guys about this. Think of it like pickup basketball. You show up to the court, you want to be able to get some reps in to go through it. We can have it a little bit more organized than that. You're not obligated to be there, but if you want to make sure that you crush it when you come to me and Darius and then Chris, this would be a great thing to make sure that you do. because we're going to be looking for certain things. So if that's something, I'll do a post about it in the Facebook group after we're done this afternoon, and put a little bit of a poll out to see what day of the week might be best. We do want to keep it to an evening, I think. And, you know, we'll just go with the majority for that.
You guys, Shayna and Derek, should we kick it off for like a couple of minutes? Did we record? You recorded it when you guys did it to me, right?
Yeah, I have the recording.
Can we post that?
Sure.
So here's the deal. So guys, let me say this and then I'm gonna turn it over. I know they got some stuff they want to cover. So of course the expectation is you guys can present this at a very high level, whether you're doing it live or you're using consulting model or whatever. It's gonna help for you to just get those reps in. And look, we're all equal. All right, we all equal in here. But what I will say is, you guys definitely want to hop on when they post about getting your reps. I think we're gonna show you 2 different ways you can do it. But it's okay to mess up here. That's what we kind of expect. It's okay to not get it perfect here. All right. So that's why we all just going to hold each other accountable. What I'm personally looking for is that you guys put your own stank on it. Like don't try to do it like Chris. Chris been doing it 12 years. I want you to do it like you. All right. I want you to cover the big things. Don't get me wrong, but cover them in your way. Right. And I know Shayna and Darius are going to talk about this, but you know, let me just give you an example. Val will be doing it with schools and educators and administrators. So Val's language wouldn't be Chris's language. Val wouldn't say, okay, so how does this affect your sales? Val may say, how does this affect your communication with your other peer teachers or principals or whatever, right? Like that would be her language. I want you to dig in with your target and make sure you customize it to them. So I ain't gonna steal nobody else's thunder. Let me just shut up. I'm gonna turn it over to, I see them looking at me like, hey, slow your roll. So let me just back up and I'm gonna turn it over to them.
Okay, gentlemen first today. Darius, go ahead.
Wow.
Hilarious. You see, you know what I'm saying, Darius.
Right. So guys, today we're going to be splitting up into our groups. Shayna has her group. I have my group. Shayna, do you want to do it? You want to introduce them now or you want to wait? How you want to do that?
I think it's fine to do it now. We got 15 minutes, so I just want to make sure we cover everything.
Okay.
I could read out the groups. We're also going to email this out. You guys will have all of this information as well because you'll need some scheduling links and everything like that. But just a quick rattle off. Darius's group, and you guys will be switching next week. So you're going to do 1 week in this group and then switch. So you're going to work with both of us. So Darius's group is Candace, Shatora, Tiffany, Ayana, Mickey, Jesse, Carol, Sharid. It's Sharad.
Sharad, yeah.
I got some autocorrect going on, sorry. And E.T. And then mine is Tammy, Lashana, Lisa, Cheryl, Paul, Kendall, Kevin, Matthew, and Royce. If I missed anyone, just let me know. I'm gonna repost this. Val, okay, Val, I got you. Come on my team. Sean, you're on Darius' team.
Got it. Rice. George Rice.
Okay, my team. And George, right? George,
right? We got Jesse on the team?
Yeah.
George Rice.
Johnny said he's not on the team. So
Johnny, you are on Darius's.
Cool. Angela.
Angela, you're on mine.
Got it.
So we'll go back through and double check the list and make sure that everybody's on there. Darius, I kick it back to you. And then I'll go.
Yep. Roy said, can we post it in the Facebook group? Yep. We'll make sure
I'm going to post it in the group as well as send out an email with the replay from today. Everything that you guys need, you'll get in an email this afternoon.
Love it.
Okay, go ahead, Darius. What are you going to be looking for?
Okay, so for me, my thing personally is understanding what you do. So when it comes to your sheet in particular, I don't really believe in you being able to do it for somebody else if you can't do it for yourself, if you don't have an understanding of who you are and how you do it. So for me, that's a part of the focus. And then I'm more of the detail person. I know some of you don't like the details, but I firmly believe from experience and from seeing it done that there's more money in the details. All of us are on this call right now because of the details. That's why you're on here, because it resonated with you in an area that was beyond the surface. So some of us are going to be doing some surface things, so to speak, because I remember Chris talking about the live portion is just the outside of it. It's barely hitting the surface, honestly. And then, so for me, it's more of the internal, who your client is, how you're going to, how you're going to approach that before you go in, like making sure that you studying them or studying yourself as well as you go into that deep dive. So I'm more of the deep dive person, honestly. And also doing it, for me, it's doing it in excellence. You guys will know this from me. I am all about the experience and excellence and doing it in excellence. So that's what I want to focus on you, is being able to do it in such a way where you represent the excellence of the brand and the excellence of who you represent.
Perfect. So you guys know I'm a brand image consultant. So I'm
Shayna, hold that real quick. What Darius and guys, Darius, I love what Darius said. When Shayna and Darius, so they had to facilitate it back to me. When Darius did his section, he just pulled out some stuff from his, and I had him do my assessment. So I gave him mine. They facilitated as if I was one of their clients. And Darius was able to pull some things off some of the pages that, quite frankly, I hadn't even paid attention to. And I was like, oh, wow, that's sweet how you pulled. I wouldn't have even thought about that. And I've actually used some of that stuff with clients. So just being able to know the details, go beyond that animal. You know, what does page 13 say? And how can you pull that out? How can you get someone to move with those things that they need to do on page 17? Right? Like being able to know that detail, that's what he's talking about. So, and making it an experience for that client. So that's what Darius is looking for when you get his first group. That's what he'll be looking for. And then when you guys rotate from Shayna to Darius, like that's his thing. Just know that. All right, Shayna, you got it.
Thank you very much. So for me, I am heavily focused on, you know, your brand. So one, when you come in to do them with me, you're going to be doing them one-to-one. So you will get a copy of my assessment prior to, I'll make sure to email that out to all of you. And so I need to know who I am, like what's the user persona. This should be in alignment with your business and your brand. I should be able to hear that brand messaging. So for example, when I did it for Chris, I did it for him exactly like he's a client of ours, which he is. We're rebranding him. So I went through based off of what's important. We need to see the gorilla in his brand. We need to see the things that are important to him. I'm also going to be looking for what pages are most important for your client. You only have 30 minutes to go through this, and then maybe a 15-minute buffer if they have time. So you're not going to have enough time to go through all kinds of pages. So you need to know which pages are most important and influential for that user. I really want to see this, like, no offense to anybody, but I'm super blunt. You are not the 4 animals. Chris Daniel is the 4 animals. If you come on and facilitate this like all you are is the 4 animals, it's not going to go through very well. So I need to see your brand. If you don't know or have a brand yet, let me know that in advance before we start going through it. But you should have an idea of who you potentially. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep, I did that. That's bad. Go ahead.
Okay, so you should have an idea of who you potentially would want to use it with, and we're just going to speak their language. It's going to give me a really good idea. I am going to look for you when Chris talked about being good question askers. My foundation is in life coaching. That's all about questioning and digging. So I'm a super emotional flamingo. look to be able to, you know, dig on something that's going to help me grow. I want those aha moments, and I'm super coachable. I should come out of here learning something new from going through it with you guys, so I cannot wait. And have your own style. So when Chris talks about your, you know, don't do it or say it like Chris, truly put your own swag on it. You know, if I'm a flamingo, I come in, I'm like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Like, life is a party over here. That's how I facilitate. So I'm going to be looking for you guys to have your own swag, your own confidence. The first time that Darius and I did it for Chris, I will admit I was super nervous, even though I talked to Chris like multiple times a day. I was super, super nervous. Okay. And then the switch was that the second time that I did it with my own style and like he was my client, and there was a completely different shift. So just walk in with that. And I just really want to empower you guys. You have a lot to bring to the table that's outside of the 4 animals. The 4 animals is a tool to elevate your experience for your clients, just like Darius is talking about. So literally use this as a way to almost prospect me into more work with you. If you've done a good job, I'm going to want to do more work with you. So I can't wait. Really, let's just have fun. And when we have fun, we're going to learn.
Absolutely. Good. Thanks, Shana.
You're welcome.
So let me give you guys a quick example. Let's say I was facilitating it for, and I see your hand up, Angela. I'm going to go with Angela. Let's say if Angela was my client and we were doing a consultation over video and I got her assessment. The first thing I do is I take about 5 to 8 minutes and I look at the key pages. Page 2, 5, 6 through 10, 11 and 12, 19. Like I literally just kind of go through and pick out a couple of bullet points on all those pages. However, the first question I would probably ask, because 30 seconds goes by so quick, is, all right, have you had a chance to read the assessment? Cool. What stood out to you? Oh, the fact that I'm a flamingo. Okay, did it validate everything you were thinking, or did you learn something new about yourself? Oh, man, everything was pretty much on point, but it was some things I didn't quite boom, and that's where I'm going to zero in at, right there. I don't quite understand, boom. All right, cool, let's go to that, right? And I'm going to dig in right there. I also, especially on a deep dive, and I didn't talk about those today, but especially when I do a deep dive with a client, like I pull out all the pages that nobody wants to read, like 13, 14, 16, 17. Nobody wants to read those pages because those are pages that force you to become better. But that's what this is all about, right? So I spend time on those. So when you're with your coaches, like, understand, like, pull out stuff, treat them as a paying client. Like, challenge them, make them better, make them learn something about themselves. Because truthfully, look, I created it and I still read my assessment. I'm like, wow. Like, I ain't even see that. Like, man, I forgot all about that. So just be mindful. I literally, like, I want you to study it. I want you to pick out a couple of things that you can blow them away with, because that's what you want to do with your real clients when it's time to start charging, okay? All right. Parting thoughts, Q&A, comments, questions. We covered it.
I have a question.
The consulting model is very rich. I know Angela had her hand up first, and I'm here.
Mute everybody.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Chris.
Can you hear me now?
No, mute everybody. There's
All right, can you guys hear me now? Not okay, got it. So no, all I was saying is the consulting model is very rich. It won't be for everybody, I get it. But if you do want to use the virtual consulting model, I promise you, like, when you can put these things in place, it can really, really work for you. So I'm going to just open it up. I see some hands raised. I saw Angela's hers was raised. I don't know if she still has a question. And then I see Tiffany and Ayana. So I'm going to go Angela first.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me unmute you.
From when I was just saying I wasn't on the participant list. No question.
Oh, okay, got you. So we got you covered. No problem. Let's go with Tiffany.
Not so much a question, but I just wanted to say I really am looking forward to. I'm nervous about doing the facilitation, but really looking forward to it. I reread my assessment late last week, and was just blown away by what I learned about myself. So I cannot wait to apply this to my clients and really start to dive in. So I'm looking forward to it a lot.
I love it. Thank you. You know what? And I'm glad you said that. Like, here's some homework for everybody tonight. Go back and reread your assessment in its entirety. And if you haven't, answer the last 3 pages of questions, 20, 21, and 22. If you haven't answered those, like actually written them in, go do that tonight. I promise you, you're going to have some ahas. Okay? Yep. Thank you, Tiffany. Cool. Ayana, let me unmute you. You got it.
So I know Shayna had mentioned for her team, she was going to give them a copy of her assessment. Darius, for us to work with you, are we going to base it off of our assessment, or are we going to base that off of something that you might give us?
I'll end up sending you mine. So for my team, what I want you to do is I'll have you send me yours, and then I'll also send you mine. So I'll post my email in the Facebook group, and we'll shoot it from there.
Darius, I'll take care of it. We'll do a mass email to your team and one to my team, and we'll include all that stuff. So send yours to me.
Okay.
All right.
Love it. Cool. Shayna, did I miss something that I'm supposed to cover? I do that sometimes.
No, you did an impeccable job today.
You got to see the culture I have to deal with here. No, guys, so, really, like, think about, so we talked about the live model last week. This week, we talked about the virtual consultation model. Shout out to Chicago PD, man. I was on with some federal agents yesterday, that was Monday night. And they can be a little intimidating until you break them down. And let me just say this. So when you do it well, guys, like, you're going to hit some emotional triggers, and I don't care who the client is. And I literally, had these buff, gruff federal agents, throat cracking, voice cracking, watery-eyed, because I was able to help them really break down these walls they got. They're starting a company outside of their day jobs, and they just bumping heads. And they all have to act like gorillas at work because they're federal agents. But we got into how they adapt. And we got into a little bit of real moments of truth. And I'll be honest with you, like, I saw them go to another level as a team Monday night. They might not have seen it, but like I literally saw them mush and gel together and talk about next steps. And literally, I'll probably be flying out to Chicago, and I'm thinking September, October. But truly understanding like what they bring to the table and how they can work as a team to get to the next level. So I say that to say, like, when you guys see or hear a client gasp or take a deep breath or whimper or even bawl out, we've seen them even cry, right? Like, it's okay. It's part of this whole thing, but just know, like, it's that powerful that when someone can own it to that level. I've seen couples. I've done it with couples, and believe it or not, seen the husband kind of walk away and do this. Like, I've seen it. But when you can see someone come together and gel like that off of a tool, off of an assessment, and then they take ownership for their lives and go to the next level, like, it's priceless. So you got a powerful tool on your hands. I don't say this because I created it, because I didn't. It just has grown and morphed into something that is remarkable to watch. But yeah, man, get with your coaches, get with us, get active in the Facebook group, ask your questions. We're in there all the time. And we'll be excited for next week's final training session and then your week with your coaches. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up. Be mindful of the time. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. There is the final one next Wednesday. We'll make sure the invite is updated and you get it. But just in case, we will be same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday. Okay? All right, y'all.
Bye. Bye.
Take care. See you next week.
All right, see y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, Ayana. Sorry, Ayana. Did you still have a question? I saw your hand was still raised. Did we get it?
No, I
Okay.
just wanted to follow up on a quick, Regina
Oh, sure.
mentioned last week about when somebody is high, two highs, and what that meant. And then also
Yes.
explain in detail how the adaptive, like what it really means and what it really looks like. So when somebody's like 99 chameleon and 99 gorilla, but one of their adaptives goes down to 10. I know you were going to add some context or some content
Yes.
around what that means. And so, of course, my turtle is here.
Absolutely. No. So, no, that's a great question. Take a couple minutes to go over it right now. If you guys feel free if you got to leave. So, mute everybody because I'm getting feedback. All right. So, I had one, somebody posted in BU yesterday, I think it was too. So a couple of things about the bars and the animals, all right? So I look for three things on page 2. The highest color bar, number 1, that's usually the animal, the highest color bar, okay? The second thing I look for is there another color bar close? So when I say close, within 5 points. If it's not within 5 points, I'm gonna lean to one animal. If it's within 5 points, like you got a 99 and a 97, like that's super close. Remember, I don't want hybrids. I'm still gonna go with one animal, but when they're that close, I'm gonna look at the adaptation, okay? What is the adaptation? The adaptation, which is the third thing I look for, is when people adapt, right? Those are the gray bars. I'm not looking at the highest gray bar. I'm looking at the biggest gap between the color and the gray in either animal, in either letter, right? Now, what is the, got it, Shayna. What is the magic number, okay? I always look for at least 30-point difference in the gap, okay? If it's at least 30 points, that tells me there's a drastic change and I need to look at that, okay? When you get 5, 10, 15, 20, that's to be expected. But when you get a major gap like 99 to 10, that's a problem. That means that if that person is 99 C naturally, their color bar is 99 on the C, and their gray bar is 10 or 20 or 30 or whatever, super more than 30 points, that tells me that when they adjust, adapt, get frustrated, get pissed off, get in an unsafe environment, they don't know their surroundings or the people, they're frustrated, any of that stuff happens, that tells me their state changes. They change how they think and how they do what they do. That triggers me as to, why does that happen, right? So when you see someone, let's say someone has a high C, 99C, 99S, okay? What animal are they? Well, from that, I can't tell. But what I will go do next is look at the adaptation. What's the gray? What's the biggest gap in the gray? If that C drops from 99 down to 10, they're a chameleon all day long. Because I guarantee you their chameleon doesn't drop that far. All right? They have a high amount of turtle until the going gets tough, and then that drops. You see what I'm saying? So when you have two things that are super high, you want to look at the adaptation. And whichever one drops the most, that's the one we go away from for their animal. That makes sense?
Higher.
Say again?
What if it and it goes higher?
So when they're adapted, it goes higher?
Yeah.
That's like, cool. They just become more of what that animal is. Right? So let's say, I'm a mute. So let's say they're naturally a 99C, and I believe Shayna's does this on her eye. And if not, Quest for sure does this. On his eye, let's say he's a 99I color bar, but the gray bar is 100, let's just say, right? That just means Naturally, he's a flamingo. Yeah, look at Shayna. Shayna, hold yours up again. So you see her eye. Naturally, what is that, 87, 81? And then when you adapt, it's a what?
Natural 88 adaptive.
88, so it goes higher. So what that tells me is Shayna is flamingo through and through. Naturally, she's bubbly, social. Even when she gets frustrated, pissed off, she wants to talk even more. All right? So that's what that tells me. Look at her face. Like, that's what it tells me. And see, this is what I mean by emotional trigger. Like, study your client, because when you hit it, it's always emotional. Like, they always show it in their face every single time. All right? So just be mindful. Like, I'm past the animal. I'm more of like, okay, what's all the other stuff? And that's what you got to be able to master. So does that help? Cool. And I see Regina still on, so that probably definitely answers the content you're asking. All right, cool. All right, I know we're set. Hey, hold on. Shayna, we will be on for next week. It's Wednesday is the 4th of July. All right. So me and the team will discuss what day we want to move next week too, because I'm almost certain y'all ain't gonna be on, which is cool. We'll pick another day that works, and if we'll talk about it and get back to you guys before the day's out on that one. Okay. All right, ladies and gents, thank you for your time. Thank you for doing overtime with me if you stayed on, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Shayna, Darius, we're staying on, right? Okay. Give it just a couple minutes. Got it. All righty. How'd it go? Hold on, Sandy, you still muted. Hold on.
Oh.
Okay.
I said stop the recording.